All right, greetings everyone. Happy new moon. This is the new moon chat, and we are discussing joy this month, revitalizing joy, our relationship with joy, what joy means to us, and how we're going to incorporate joy. So, with us, we have Kathy Marie Howe and Anna Moni, and we have another moonbeam joining us in just a bit. Kathleen Rose Kelly will pop in at some point. So before we really get started, I just want to give a little background of where this inspiration is coming from, all of the energies that are involved, and that is the zodiac sign of Leo, the heart chakra, and creativity. So that is the entire focus for the month during this entire lunar cycle. And let's just go around, say who you are, where you're from, and I don't know, how are you feeling at this moment? Kathy, we'll start with you.
Okay, I'm Kathy Marie, and I am from Lexington, Kentucky, and I'm feeling relaxed right at this moment. 15 minutes earlier, I was in a car and driving around crazy. Things changed really quickly for the day, so it's nice to be here and be present.
And I'm in Oceanside, and today has been total chill out day. So we kind of tried to get into work mode for a second because a phone call came through, and after it was over, we were like, nope. So today's just been have fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. See if we can keep that up this entire month.
Yeah.
So I am Ember. I am in Atlanta, and similar to you, Kathy, I've been in the car for 4 hours and popped out of the car onto the computer immediately with dogs going crazy, husband going crazy. So yeah, I just need a moment to chill. All right, so what we'll do is once we kick off our candle ritual and get everything rolling, we'll go through all of the details, all the moon details, the astrological details, the cosmic happenings of the month. We will go through the SOCS, the system of correspondences, along with just some word association to kind of get us in the flow for this month and get our juices flowing, what we want to do, what we want to talk about, how we want to bring it. We're going to incorporate from now on a little bit of ecology and a little bit of health each month. And even though the ecology portion will be super short this month, I do want to touch on it, but then we'll do a health segment. And then, of course, we'll just share the entire time we'll be sharing, but we'll share kind of our vow for the month, and as we discover what joy is going to mean to us, what our vow for this month will be about this topic. And that is it. That is it. All right, so if you have a candle, you want to get it started?
Candle, yep, get this started. So let's get us, I need to get my matches here.
And any stones or anything that you want, now's the time to grab all those.
All right. So let's just take a deep breath right before we just start. So let's get centered here. Let this flame represent the wild spirit which burns within each of us. As we awaken our own wild spirit, we awaken the collective. And set those aside. Okay, Kimberly, it's
Yeah, thank you.
moon details.
Thank you for that. I needed the candle. I needed a breath.
I know breaths are always good.
I know. Let's take another breath for a second before we get started on the moon details. And before we jump in the moon details, I just have to say something about last month. I am so fucking happy that we are past that. That was very emotional, very deep, very strange. And even though I say this with an open heart and love, I wanted to kill people. Like, I was just out of my head. Like, everything was insane. Everything was difficult. And it was really helpful to do what our intention was, of to try to look at it into a lens of, you know, is this comfort? Is this reality? Like, what is really happening? And it seriously helped. But my God, it was a tough month.
And I'll add to that with the flow. Like, I never want to be in, like, go with the flow again. Like, I'm like, that's like, that was intense for me with the, because it felt like it was too, it didn't have the structure to it for me. And I'm like, especially in a time when I'm trying to structure so much, that wasn't a great part of that intention, I think. I mean, yes, I can see the aspect of go with the flow, but really, when, you know, I had a lot of things that were in moving and trying to come together, and it was like, oh, that's maybe not, yeah, go back to that comfort versus reality. And it was like, I was really, you know, trying to be in reality. And then things just kept flowing. And I was like, stop, like, where's my dam? Just put some rocks out.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because, you know, the dam that we go back to all the protection work that, you know, I've been doing forever. And I would have to bring that up sometimes. I would have to create a boundary and let it flow another direction, and
exactly
utilize that energy to let it do that. But it took a lot. It took a lot of, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad last month is over too. It was very, I think last year, the eclipse season was also pretty intense. And they say that we're in like a 3-year thing. So the next July is also going to be like the last part of this eclipse cycle. So we're kind of, you know, get ready for the next July to be kind of the tail end of this. But I saw a meme that said, you can rage and you can be spiritual. It had a picture of somebody like, ah, and then, and I was like, yeah. So,
of all months, yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. But it was nice to be in touch emotionally. I think I've got to let this month go, because I don't normally like to that deep. So it was good. I can do it. Yeah, I could do it. And the flow was good, actually, better than I thought, but it was just swimming in those deep waters. Okay. All right. So moon details for now.
Yeah. Let's take a breath on that one. Hey, let's take a couple of breaths on that one. Hang on. Yeah.
Okay. All right. The new moon, July 31st, 11:12 p.m. Eastern time. All of these are going to be in Eastern time. And retrograde ends, Mercury retrograde ends at the same time. And there's some shadow phases. And Mo, we could talk about that in a minute too. But technically, we're out of that. And then the perigee moon is on the 2nd of August. And that's at 3:08 a.m. So that is, you know, when the moon is closest to the earth, and it's so close to the new moon, this new beginning. And I love the fact that it's just a topic of joy. And this entire month can be playful and tapping into our inner child. And I love that it's happening, that perigee is happening with the new moon. It's really going to help catapult this intention. The first quarter moon is on the 7th of August at 1:32. And then from the 12th through the 13th, of August, there's a lot of meteor showers occurring. I'm kind of excited about that too. And then we have a full moon on the 15th. Apogee is a couple of days after that. So it'll be a full moon and a little bit of distance there. So it'll be easy to throw some energy out that direction that we're hanging on to that's keeping us from the joy. And then the last quarter moon is on the 23rd. All right. So Wednesday, 11:12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is our new moon. This is when we're really kicking off, and we've got our entire cycle with joy. It's this time for meditation and education, and it's also a time to really make sure that we're putting in action steps for us to really have some fun in our lives for a change. We talk about such serious topics, especially this past month. And how are we showing up for joy in all aspects of our life? And let's particularly consider 4 corners of our lives, 4 aspects. So how do we show up with work? How do we show up in our partnerships and our relationships? How do we show up for ourselves? And how do we show up in our home and in our day-to-day life and our day-to-day routine? So with that, let's leap into Leo the lion. How familiar are you all with Leos?
I gave birth to one.
Yeah, I've got a Leo sister and a lot of Leo friends. Leos are a good, loving, big center of attention.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah. Yeah. So taking that energy, like our center of attention, focus on us and the family around us. I love that idea because a Leo will do anything for you at any given time. They would give the shirt off their back, their last dollar for you. As long as you don't cross them. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, and then be very wounded if you don't do what they want to do or whatever.
Yeah. But very confident, I just love the vitality and how proud they are too. A lot of it, that self-confidence, there's also some underlying, I don't know, the fear. It's like the cowardly lion a little bit,
Yeah.
But I love that.
Yeah. Both me and Jason is Venus and Leo.
Oh,
so,
with Venus.
Yeah, our Venus is both in Leo. So I guess that's a similar love language, most likely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's definitely a fire element, and that's a place that I'm personally very comfortable with, especially after this water sign. I love the initiation of not only this topic of joy, but what a Leo energy can bring of really implementing something that. Okay, so it's interesting. I said I was in the car for 4 hours on the way here, and so many times in the car I am bitching at my Leo driver. Because he's a bit crazy behind the wheel. And I kept thinking of, I'm going into this topic in just a couple of hours. So where can I find joy in this? And I went back to as a child and remember what it was like to be behind the wheel for the first time, and being totally fearless and not caring. And it was difficult, but I could do it, tap into it a little here and there. There wasn't as much bitching going on. So it's a very masculine sign and very structured, but extremely active at the same time. So there's going to be a lot of activity this month, and I'm trying to think of like some action items, some initiating some action items that will bring joy into all of these aspects of our lives. And the planet is the sun. Sundays are the days. I'm kind of getting into the SOCS now, but the planet is the sun, and that is about will and ego and the heart. And that's part of where the heart chakra focus is coming in, is that cowardly lion, and searching for that proud moment, and utilizing the heart chakra, and they would do anything for anyone. But I like the idea of bringing creativity into this as well, especially in all of these different aspects of our house, our work, our partnerships, our relationships. All right. It's all about pleasure and children.
Creation.
Yeah. Creation. Yeah. Creation, creativity. And we've done some work on our inner child. It comes and it goes for me personally. But this is a fun month for that work. Normally it's like deep shadow work, but it'll be fun to do inner child work on what really brings joy and how to implement into daily life.
For me, I'm just trying to go to the beach as much as I can, since we're literally 2 blocks away. Just trying to make that like part of my morning routine. When I go, it is a massive heart expansion, just feeling the whole ocean like that. So
is that becoming like part of your morning ritual?
I would say it's more the goal right now to make it at least every other day. It was cold and rainy for a while, but it's like, now's the time to be there. I guess everybody else is thinking the same thing on the weekend. So we try to go during the week, but yeah. So that's like, to me, that's like a super fun, inner child kind of thing.
I would love that too. The beach is one thing that's one of my favorite places. Something else to note, that this is the first of 3 supermoons. And so, kicking off that energy is, I think, even recognizing that, just to say that, make it even more playful, just to see what we have in store. Like that anticipation is what I think of, like Christmassy, kind of exciting.
So you're saying this new moon is a supermoon, as Kim was saying, the perigee, but then the full moon, the next full moon is a supermoon, or the next? I didn't.
This is the first of 3 new moons that are supermoon.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So
nice.
we got that more energy from there. So
lots of initiations.
So this goes all the way into October?
Yes. And then the 8/8 portal too. Like, I love that energy. Like,
yeah.
all of those numbers and the synchronicities, and I think that's exciting. But that's what I think of, like just even like the anticipation and the excitement of, even like when Kim and I were talking about the month, and just the excitement of getting out of last month and kind of jumping into some joy would be good for the soul.
Jumping, and it is jumping. I was having a hard time staying the last week or so into that heaviness. All I could anticipate was this month and how to utilize like everything. One thing that I did love about last month were the colors. I love red, black, and silver, and I love the gemstones of onyx and moonstone and red jasper. Like, I really enjoyed that. Thank God that kind of grounded me and kept me from floating away. But I am so ready for some serious work this month. And I mean that like with total smiles. Like, it's not going to be work. It's going to be true joy. But okay, so with that said, I know we have a little more of the cosmic energy to cover, but I do want to talk a second about like what joy actually means to us, because that word itself means something different to all of us. I know, like, we're not really thinking the same thing, and everybody watching is probably thinking joy of a little bit different take on what joy means or how they want to implement it in their life, because it's got to be partially reviewing how we accept and live in joy now. And I like the term revitalizing joy a little bit, but what I really like is how do I see joy in all aspects of the life? Because right now, I guess where I'm going with this is that I only see joy in recreation. Like, I'm not viewing it in my work. I'm not viewing it in my home. I'm not viewing it in all these other different aspects of life. Just straight up, it's either all of that other stuff or it's playtime. Any feedback?
I feel like I've been trying really hard this past year to get to a point where everything is on the same page, meaning the work that I'm doing is for me and something that I can wake up and be passionate and excited about. Even with that, there's still monumental hurdles that appear, and they can knock you out of heart expansion, which is kind of how I look at joy. It's just like being able to be grateful exactly where you are and just almost feeling a sense of euphoria, not like expanded euphoria, like, oh my God, I can't believe it, like I'm so happy, but just like, you know, being able to move along and have a smile on your face and take things as they come, kind of thing. So last month definitely was a test of that, but I feel like I'm spending more time there.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I can definitely relate to what you say your definition of joy is. I think mine is very similar to that. And also, Kim, what you said about being in the car, and that's what I love about doing the actual intentions and showing up, is because when we can, it changes our perception of things and our perspective, and to be able to take what that
was a good month.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I like that month.
Well, that really helped us do all of this too, but really just showing up every day is like, that's what I think can bring us more joy, to actually look through that lens of the awareness lens, and where is the joy in our lives? Can it be just simply from opening our eyes first thing in the morning? How much joy does that bring? Because I think most of us will have a nice warm home and covers and the little things that so many people take for granted, but that brings me joy. And then spending time with my little Leo, he brings me a lot of joy too, because
the grand boy.
Oh no, Levi, he's gonna be 21 here.
Okay.
This
His
month,
dad.
So, no, actually it's my sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, he's my youngest son.
Okay.
Yeah, we have Joe and I are 2 Scorpios, and then we have 2 Pisces, my oldest and my youngest, and then he's the Leo. So it's like the 4 of us all kind of flow together, and then he stands out like a Leo.
And does it very well. Yeah.
And he does it very well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it has been really interesting because he's very vocal and has always been, very shows up, and so it's fun to put this energy, the work with this month. I'm excited.
Nice.
Yeah. Having a Leo in the house will be really helpful this month, I have to say. But there's many times where there's so many jokes, viewpoints, totally different, that I many times say I'm married to a 12-year-old. But it makes life fun. It makes life lighter. And sometimes I want to be heavy, and then I get pissed off because, I can't be heavy. I can't be in the shadow. So yeah, I've been aware of that for some time, but it's going to be fun to really play with it this month.
Good choice of words.
Yeah, in a different way. All right. So retrograde ends. Mo, what about the shadow phase? Like, how long do we have?
I think that honestly, like I told you before we started, I've not been paying attention really. All I know is that we're out of the main part of it and we're just at the tail end. I know that by the 7th or 8th maybe is when it's over.
Yeah.
I'm not sure honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, the exact date. But isn't it usually like 10 days or something, 2 weeks, something like that? Yeah.
As it's waning. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
but we've still got a whole bunch of other planets in retrograde. Yeah. So 4 other outside planets. So that's, I don't even know what to say about all that. I was like Uranus, Saturn, Pluto, Neptune, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. And that was last year too. And I think maybe next year we may have the same thing.
Well, it'll be interesting to look back next year, to look back and see how we utilized, our intentions or this time of year in preparation for this happening next year. Because we've been doing this a year. All right, there's some homework for me. I'm going to look back last year and see what happened.
Nice, I like that.
Yeah, last year. What about Chiron?
Well, it went out of Aries for a second and now it's back in, and we're in it for like 7.5 years now. So finding out where it is finding out where Chiron is in your chart, I think is a really good start. I know for me, my Chiron is in Aries, and Chiron is in Aries for the next 8 years. So, it's the focus is on taking your the areas that you've been hurt and traumatized and building some type of purpose and passion out of it and using it to help others, I think, is really the concept of the wounded healer. Like the wounded healer does it best kind of thing. So, and it is very much a masculine energy, as Aries is. And so I think it's about, for myself, it's about using my masculine energy correctly and also learning how to, have communication with the masculine at the same time. So also lots of lessons to go through old stories and do them better every time.
Well, with being in Aries, it's such a forward moving, fast moving initiation time, and with courage. Yeah, hang on. I want to see where my chart is in there.
It's usually really interesting.
Oh, we lost her for a second.
Just a second, guys. Babe?
Yes, darling.
Ugh. We've got somebody at the door, and sorry, guys.
That's okay.
I had somebody calling through on my phone, and I'm doing this Zoom call on my phone. So that's why my picture disappeared. So I was like, I need to go get the door. Yeah, okay, I'm back.
Gotcha. All right.
Are you looking up where Chiron is in your chart?
Yes, and it's not in my quick and easy chart, so
Uh,
I have to go deeper.
yeah.
I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be on the app. The
I think even
co-star.
for you, Kim, since you're Aries, like these next 8 years for you, you can, because that's your sun. So no matter where your Chiron is, I'd be interested to see, but wouldn't that be funny if it was also in Aries?
Yeah, really.
Is
Yeah.
that possible that you don't, that's the case? Maybe. I mean,
Well, yeah, it is, but
yeah.
I will find out. I will have an
Yeah.
answer soon. Yeah. All right. So the meteors, we'll be able to see the meteors the 12th and the 13th of August. So I'll make sure I put some links up for everybody for some good viewing locations and stuff, but I'm pretty sure we can see them all during that time frame. I think you could see them too in California.
That'd be cool. That's like good nighttime beach.
Really early morning.
Or early morning.
I think they are going to be early morning here.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah.
I like the blue light you have going on in your background, Kim.
That's nighttime.
Yeah. It's the twilight right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Sun is setting. It is the twilight zone here. Okay. All right. So you guys want to do socks?
Sure.
All right. So the sun is our planet. We did say that already. And the colors, I'm going to start with like my favorite stuff from last month. Let me ask you guys this. So with these socks, do you find like one or two things that you just kind of touch on like and think of the entire month? Like sometimes I don't even think about some of them at all, but others I like really grasp onto. You know, like how I said earlier that it was the stones and the colors. Sometimes the colors mean absolutely nothing to me, and sometimes it really resonates.
So what I started doing was writing in the colors in my journals. Like so I picked the color of the month and use that as my pen because I like the fine tip markers, and that's fun. I love looking back at my journals now. It kind of really makes it it brings me more joy, with the different colors, just something that simple. And I always love playing with the crystals, and the animals are always another thing that always get to me. But not get to me, but
Connect with you.
Connect with me. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. It is. It's different every month, I guess, because sometimes there'll be like essential oils, as much as I love them, that I don't necessarily like that essential oil, or doesn't speak to me at that time. This month's do. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what really connects this month. But one thing I'm really excited about, colors again, and that's green and orange. And gold. Gold is also the metal. I'm more excited over the orange than the green, I have to say. I'm ready for some orange. All right, so the stones are jasper and topaz. And the essential oils, I've got a few essential oils, tangerine and any of that type of citrus. So tangerine, orange or bergamot would be another good option there too. Kathleen's having a hard time getting in. Have you noticed?
I saw a few texts.
Yeah. See if I can invite her from this spot right here.
If that doesn't work, what I had to do is I had to go back to the original email and pick it up that way. I don't know why.
The original email that I sent out to everyone?
Yes.
That's where I got the link from.
Okay. Well, let's just do that and save a moment.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. So, the element is fire. Did I say that already? I know I did. I'm joking. I love the fire element. I'm an Aries, of course I do. So I live in fire. I'm really excited about this. And I'm also really excited planning like new moon, not new moon, the moon circles. So I can have a huge bonfire. I am ready for that. All right. Kathy, can you send that while I'm doing this?
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And all right, so the sun is the planet. Yeah, I know it's not a planet, but whatever. We're calling it a planet this month. So the sun is our planet, and our day of the week is Sunday. Sunday is also a great day for creativity. So it fits in that, you know, the not only creativity, but also for the heart chakra too. North is the direction. Our numbers are 4. Hence, I was talking about the 4 aspects of the house. And 1 is also another option, but 4 being the primary number. Gold and copper are the metals. The essential oil, tangerine, ginger, rosemary, clary sage. I'm a little crazy this month. There's several really good ones. Rosemary, I love the fact that it just keeps things moving, keeps things going, and it's very warm and inviting, just like the heart chakra in a Leo. But the creativity, I like how it works with the creativity because it really keeps things moving. And the tangerine and the ginger, I mean, that's just straight up Leo. And really great for the heart chakra as well. So rosemary is also our herb, our plant. It falls into all of those categories. And juniper, the juniper tree is the option for us this month. Frankincense is a great incense. And then our animals are lion, the orangutan, and then we have a couple of birds that would work, a raven, a hummingbird. Both of those will work. So we'll be talking about those a little bit as the month goes on, but definitely the lion, of course, the proud lion, and the orangutan. And a couple of mantras. The main mantra for the month is it's okay to just be, create, and scatter joy. And there's a couple of others too that, well, I'll share one more, but we'll play with some others throughout the month. But I have burned my way through the darkness. Let's dance. And then our foods are greens, just straight up greens, anything green. All greens, healthy heart food. All right. Well, with the healthy heart food, Kathy, do you want to take the health aspect?
Sure. So something I can share maybe this month is some recipes that can involve greens that maybe make it easy and fun. But what I'd like to share tonight is what we've all heard about, like the American food plate and what the recommendations and personally, if you follow the standard American diet, you know that that's not necessarily the healthiest way to be. So what I'd like to introduce, which may or may not be a new concept, is the thought of primary food versus secondary food. And the secondary food is what is actually on your plate. So what might be healthy for one person may not be healthy for someone else. And so just keep that in mind whenever you do eat for yourself. And those greens, you know, if that's something that doesn't resonate with you, then obviously you want to limit yourself. But if it is something that is beneficial to you, or certain types of, there are so many different green foods to eat that can be healthy, stick with that. But the primary food is what I really want to share about. And that's anything that nourishes and nurtures our soul. And so something that I thought we could do that might be beneficial, and I know we talked about different things, or you're going to go over some ideas for people to do, but simply to, and I'd like to share this in our group at some point, to assess 12 areas of our lives and see where we are at the beginning of this month. And then again, at the end of the month, come back and assess that, rate them from 1 to 10, obviously, which, you know, you feel you have more of versus you have less of, and then just kind of see. And I'll just go over it real quick. It's the creativity, finances, career, education, health, physical activity, home cooking, home environment, relationships, social life, joy, and spirituality. So just simply, like I said, I can share a form and you can rate it, and then at the beginning of the month and then at the end of the month, come back and just reassess, do the same series over again, and see if anything is improved, or, you know, especially as we apply joy throughout the month. So I think that's kind of neat to see that it's not always what's on our plate that makes us the most healthy, but actually what's in our mind and what surrounds us with that does.
Nice. I like that. So the 4 corners that we talked about, those are in there too.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
I'll share that in our group, or I'll send it to you, and you can email it out if you want to with the recording.
Okay. Yeah. That's a good idea. All right. Does that complete the health for the month?
Yes. And I'll send out some more, like I said, I'll send out some fun recipes for the greens to go with that. But simply just want to keep that in mind, that, you know,
yeah,
do what's best for you.
All right. Yeah. I'm excited about doing that. I think that's a great idea. Yeah.
All right. Yay.
Okay, so ecology, we're going to kind of skip that a little bit. I want to touch on it for a second, but not do like a whole segment on it. But last month, you talking about the water element, it really brought plastic to the surface, so to speak. So I just want to touch on that because I've worked a lot with water and finding never mind. I'm not going back. I keep getting sucked back into last month's crazy. But I do want to talk about ecology for a split second of something that I personally want to continue. And if you guys want to share any like ecology things that you want to implement or grow this month too, or just, you know, that awareness. And that is, I'm just stuck on plastic right now. And the 232 pieces of plastic per person is what is in the ocean right now, on average. And so I'm implementing something this month where I am counting how many pieces of plastic I throw away every day. And I'm going to tally what that is by the end of the month. And
that's painful.
It's extremely painful. And I don't mean just throw away. I'm talking recycle. I want to know what goes in that recycle bin. I want to know what goes in the trash. And I'm not going to distinguish between the two. When I'm finished with a piece of plastic, there's number 1. The next piece of, here's number 2. No, this will be number 1. Yes, I'm going to count every piece of plastic the best to my ability for the entire month. And that's my ecology thing for the month.
I found the only way to cut down on plastic is to not buy at grocery stores. Like it's like, go more like farmers markets. Well, in California, I'm sure in some of the other big cities too that they're doing this. LA did it first a few years ago, just banned plastic bags. But even still, just going to the grocery store, like I started going to Costco for the business, and they had cucumbers wrapped individually, and then 2 wrapped together, and then double wrapped to become 4, and then double wrapped again for 8. So I'm like unwrapping this thing that breaks into 2, and then I break it up again, and I'm like, these are cucumbers. Like, why are we, like, why? But I was just like, this is tiny little, you know,
It's crazy.
plastic is yeah. And the microbeads that they're talking about that we now have like ingrained into our tissue, and it's showing up in all kinds of animal that's coming from the ocean.
Yeah, we had 3 whales beach. Well, they didn't beach. Let me rephrase that. 3 whales landed on the beach dead.
Yes.
This past month in Georgia.
Full of plastic.
Yeah, well, they're still doing autopsy, so I don't have the answer, but that's never happened. I mean, I've lived in Georgia since 2000. That has never happened. Yeah.
I saw a picture of a bird feeding her chick a piece of plastic.
Yeah. Okay, so any takers on plastic numbers?
I want to do that. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I think that's definitely a good idea. Something I put on Facebook just for the awareness, but and I had no idea that this was out there, but we cleaned up one of the rivers yesterday. It's called Clean Sweep, the Kentucky River Clean Sweep. And so it's been going on 20 years and I had no idea. So social media is definitely a big play. They said that they had more numbers of volunteers yesterday than they'd ever had.
Nice.
So I do blame that on social media, which is yay. But the awareness part is look around. Where are those opportunities where we can actually jump in and clean up? Because it was sad. What we ended up with a part, we only had a small boat, but there was a huge section and it had the logs and everything, so we couldn't actually access it. We tried it several different ways, different angles to get into the middle of it, because it was like you could just take it. We needed something just to scrape it. Like if we just had something, and our little grabbers, we couldn't get close enough to some of it, so we ended up having to leave it, which was sad. But it was like, okay, definitely, keep shining the awareness on this so that more people can get involved. And if we continuously do this, then, certainly, I did a live video. I was actually doing a live video. And then, when we saw it, I was like, I got so excited. I cut it off and then put it back on, but it sounded really harsh, because it was like, if you take stuff to the lake, take it back out with you, because look at all your trash. I was like, it wasn't quite the message, but
you were still in your emotional state.
So yeah,
I feel like we have neighborhood and beach cleanups here a lot.
Thank goodness. Like that's it.
Yeah.
But here in Kentucky, it's not like that. And that's our main drinking water. And if you saw it, like if you get a chance to look at my Facebook, it's disgusting. And I'm thinking, if more people knew that, I wonder if they would be more diligent about reducing, reusing.
Well, it does. It always goes back to what's in it for you,
Yeah, exactly.
At the end of the day. So knowing something like that would make a difference.
You would think so. And then just to bring awareness. So, look for those opportunities. And then lastly, I wanted to say, and I haven't shared it in our group yet, but so I talked a little bit about it, but I had to try to make life easier for myself and just trying different ways for my clients and everything, different meal services, something I'd never done before. It was pretty basic, but got turned on to the purple carrot, and was, for me personally, trying to eat vegan, and found it a challenge to make myself, especially starting from scratch. And so that's where the purple carrot came in. It was really cool. except for, it came in a big box and it had all the plastic and then the,
so
the
much
ice.
plastic.
It doesn't have that much plastic. It's not that bad.
It's not.
Okay, there's other ones that are. I don't know which one it is. We tried one here, and there was like 3 nuts in a plastic bag, and then another little baggie with a little tablespoon of soy sauce. I'm like, come on.
There is
And
some, yeah. I'm not going to argue. There's plastic in there, but it could be so much worse. It's better than going, what you said, Mo, going to the grocery. If I bought those ingredients at the grocery, there would be 3 times more plastic.
Right. So it really is, once again, just awareness. And so what I did is, and what the beautiful part of that was, it helped me to understand how to eat vegan without, it really was a very easy way to learn how to do it. And, the meat consumption is something that definitely needs to be reduced. People need to consume less red meat, that type of thing. So anyway, with that, to launch into what I want to share is that I found a meal app that actually could take I did the exact same thing, pick my menu. So I picked the menu and I went to the grocery store app and had it delivered to my house. So from the beginning of making my menu to having it delivered to my door, it took an hour. And it cost about half the amount of money. And the person shopped for me. And I will say, it does give you a place where you can write instructions. So, that might be something I could possibly see if I could work with the same person. I don't know about the reusable bags. I didn't like that because it came in, the plastic, the plastic carrying bag. So I'm like, and I, when I go to the grocery myself, I bring my own bag. But maybe choose a store that does paper or hemp or, some kind of those paper products that are changing. But just to say, all about awareness and seeing where we can cut and reduce the products that we use and that kind of thing. But I was really happy to say that I felt like it was a good change of pace or good
Option,
selection.
Do they have dietary restrictions and different menus that you can choose from in that regard?
Oh yeah, everything. Yes, it's all.
So I can do vegan and gluten-free.
Yes.
Okay.
What is this app called?
Meal Lime. I can share it too. I'll share it to send out to you guys.
Please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it was super easy. I was really surprised at how easy it was. And then the meals tasted delicious, and it was so. The only thing that I didn't like, and it was simply because I was so spoiled, is the purple carrot came with recipe cards where I could look, and so this was I kept having to go to my phone, which is smaller, and
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
reading glasses, especially when you're doing a menu. It's nice to have a meal that you're not familiar with. It's good to have a recipe card there. But learning lesson, I'll just simply write it out or, maybe put it on my computer where it's handy so it's bigger. But that was just such a simple little detail that's easily fixable.
How do you spell the app?
It's MEALIME.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it right there. Let's see, turn it which way? No, you can't see it. I don't think.
I'm not sure which one it is.
Yeah, it's the green one. It's a green. It actually has a lime on it. It's green.
Okay.
It's lime green with a picture of a green lime. And yeah, it's very customizable and was super easy to use.
All right, cool.
Just trying to make it so, we can have more joy in our lives, so it's instead of spending, I know a lot of busy moms that, you get to the grocery and you end up spending so much time and so much more money at the grocery actually, because especially if you have kids or whatever, that impulse buy. So that's it. Thanks. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be counting my plastics. I think that's a good one.
Yeah, that'll be good. All right. Anna Moni, I have a question for you, darling.
Yes.
How often do you play?
Probably every day.
Nice.
Yeah, at least a little bit. Even if it's just stopping in the middle of a work day and putting on a song and dancing for a second.
Nice. All right, Kathy, finish this sentence. Joy feels like
An explosion. In a good way.
All right. So any ideas? What do you guys want to do this month for play, for joy, for creativity?
More dancing.
I love the dancing too. I'm with the dancing.
Yeah.
Was that your vow for this month, to dance more?
Yeah, I think that would probably be my safest one, since it's already like on my radar and something that I'm working to do. And yes,
It just connects everything too. It just you let things go and just bring them back. For me, that's the way it works. How are you feeling, Kim? What I don't have any other questions in front of me to ask you.
No, that's okay. No, I think it's going to be pretty exciting this month, and I think every day is going to be a new exploration of how to bring joy in ways that I haven't thought of before. But two things that I wanted to bring this month, and that is two things that I've kind of let not slide, not ignore, but I haven't really. Music and jewelry. Those are two things that were huge aspects of my life and have always been since I was a little bitty girl. It was something shared by my parents and something that I've spent most of my life doing, but I've sat down for, I don't know, maybe not a decade, but for a long time. It's not that I never listen to music. It's not that I never wear jewelry, but it's never been in the last few years a huge joy. So that has changed in just the last few weeks of a couple little things that have happened, and I'm bringing in more music. And so I'm going to incorporate that. I'm going to include the dancing with it. And the jewelry I've been slowly doing a little bit too, and utilizing our stones of the month to do that. And I've enjoyed it so much that I'm going to take it up a notch, do a little bit more. And then also I vow this month to go visit my orangutans. I miss them. I've worked with them for some time, but it's been a couple of years since I've seen them. And I've run in and have talked to a few of my old zoo friends lately, just randomly. And I love the conversations of the apes, and I'm going to go visit them. So that's on my list of things to do this month too.
That's great.
Yeah.
Something that I did before, I was reminded of it today, is that because I do have all of my children are getting old, and we all are, everybody's lives are so busy, but we initiated at the beginning of the year family game night, and we take turns. So we do it every other month because it seems like every month is too soon. But we draw at the game night, we draw for the next person, and they have to host it from the food to the game. So it's all them. And so it's brings me joy because we all get together, and then but then I don't have to do anything for the actual event besides show up unless it's my turn. So that's been fun because I think, here's the thing with any type of play or anything. It's kind of what Mo was saying about, that she's so busy and with the dance that's already on her radar, but it's like to put these things on our radar so that we can do it, because we literally got our calendars out and said, when are we going to do this? This is going on first, so that everything else is scheduled around it. And I love that. Like, that's been really good.
That's a great idea.
Make it happen.
Yeah. That's a great idea. All right. Any other vows we want to add in there before we close this out? Concepts, ideas, thoughts?
I have a personal contract that I created last July that I gave to Jason on August 8th of last year. And that completely kind of changed the trajectory of our course. It took a little bit of time, but they were very, very specific vows about eating fire, eating the anger and turning it into light, like feeling the emotion and choosing to do the correct thing with it. So that's, I just found that written contract.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, I was like, well, look at that. So lots to do right there.
Well, how do you think a year has worked?
Good. I think I'm glad that I found it because it seems like it's a lifelong lesson. Maybe it's that Chiron and Aries. I don't know. But yeah, no, it's. I would say I'm proud of myself.
Very cool. That's great.
Yeah.
Have you shared it with him again?
We're doing that tonight.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, enjoy.
We will.
Enjoy. All right. Well, wonderful. Thanks for sharing, everyone.
It's been great.
Yeah. And the creative aspect in me sees, honors, and respects the creative aspect in each and every one of you. I love you both.
Love you too.
Want to howl?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Okay. Breath in and out, and then the next one, we go. Ready? All
Good night,
right.
guys.
Happy
Have a
New
nice night.
Moon.
Happy New Moon.
Bye.
Bye.